A very good morning to one and all gathered here. I am NC1 Devesh T from JPR Engineering College, 4TN Naval Technical Unit NCC, Madras Group B. Here with the blessings of late Colonel Dr. JPR, the founder of JPR Educational Trust, and the support of Dr. M. Regina JPR, the chairman and managing director of JPR Group of Institution. Dr. V. Natarajan, the principal of JPR Engineering College, Chennai. It's my pleasure to welcome Commander G. Shivasankar, Executive Officer of 4th TN Naval Technical Unit NCC, and a warm welcome to all the officers, PA staffs, ANOs, NCC cadets, professors, and all the students to the webinar on blood donation awareness. A little instruction before we get started I would like to give. If you have any queries regarding the topic, type them in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask at the end of the session. The feedback form will be provided at the end of the session in the chat box. Now we will move on to the session. Before, I would like to give a short intro about our blood donation awareness and our speaker. Blood is the most precious gift that anyone can give to the another person. Blood cannot be made, so donations are the only way we can give blood to those who need it. A decision to donate your blood can save a life or even a several if your blood is separated into components which can be used individually as patients with specific conditions. We pleased to welcome Dr. P. Ravindran, the speaker of today's session. Welcome, sir. Dr. P. Ravindran has completed his diploma in clinical pathology in Dr. MGR Medical University and MBBS in Madras University, Chennai. The doctor holds an experience of 8 years and extensive in the respective field of medicine. He also has 35 years of overall experience practicing medicine in various hospitals and clinics. He has experience in teaching profession also. Dr. P. Ravindran has conducted thousands of events on blood donation combined with IRCS, and today he will be sharing his valuable thoughts on blood donation with us. Please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Dr. P. Ravindran. Welcome, sir.
So, welcome, sir.
Welcome. Sir, I am audible, sir, now. Thank you, sir. I am Dr. Ravindran. On behalf of IRCS Blood Bank, this awareness program we are going to conduct today for 45 minutes session. I thank our beloved chairman of the JPR College. I thank principal of this institution. I thank Sir Balaknari sir and all the NCC cadets who are participating today program. You are all welcome. We'll go on to the topic now. Before going to blood donation awareness program, this is very important. Everybody will know that blood cannot be synthesized from any source. It is only got it from human being only. So it is a good natural cooperation with the human beings, very important to have this program in success. I have been in this field for more than 20 years and we have conducted more than 1,200 like camps. I am retired from Kilpak Medical College. There I conduct a lot of camps. Then I come to Lions Blood Bank. There I have conducted some camps. Now I am working in the IRCS Bank for proceeding this lecture class. So blood donation is a very important one. It's a noble gesture, as you all know. It is only you are giving blood, you are saving 3 persons. So it's very important. So it is a voluntary service. Nobody compelled to donate blood. We all know that voluntary motivation. We have voluntary blood donation day. We are celebrating national level, and voluntary donors day also in June 14th. A voluntary blood donation day on October 1st. So these are government of India making to awareness of the blood donation, and everybody should come forward to donate blood. Now we will go to the slide. Please, next slide, please. The origin of the blood, you also know it consists of consists of two parts, one liquid part and cell parts. Cell part consists of red blood cells, white blood cells, platelet. Then liquid part we have more than 55%. Next slide. This is a blood component. It contains all the ingredients in the blood. You see there is a test tube where the half the portion will be liquid. Below the red zone is a red blood cells, and in between there is a one layer is there, that is white blood cell and platelet, and above it is a plasma. So normally each donors will donate blood. How much blood they donate? Because we can collect differently. So each person will have at least 80 to 70 ml of blood in each kg body weight. So one person is suppose having 50 kg in, according to calculated. So they may have 4 liters of blood. So among that, if you donate 350 ml, nothing will happen. It will be recouped 1 or 2 days. So this is important point to stress you. Next slide. This is how this blood is formed from the bone marrow. See, you can see that yellow color thing is 50% plasma. In between the red zone, there is a small white zone, that is white blood cells and platelets, which is 1%. Below that, 44% is packed red cells. So this is very important to know that what are the products available in the blood. Next slide. So I told you already. So each person may have 70 to 80 ml of blood per kg body weight. So in this we will collect only 350 ml or 450 ml according to the available blood bags. We will have 350 ml blood bags and 450 ml blood bag. So each donor will be collected 350 ml. Coming to the blood donation, donor must be well-being. They should not suffer from any illness. They will be completely healthy, mentally and physically fit to donate. So this is very important. Then this disabled person also can donate with the proper communication with them. They should understand what is going on with him. So suppose handicapped person is coming, they have enough weight and everything, we can allow to donate the blood. Then age criteria, age is very important. Minimum 18 to 60 only, because 65 means according to the government of India it is 65, but most of the blood bank they will they restrict to 60 years, because if the regular donor continuously donating the blood will go on to the 65 years. Suppose first time they are coming means it is not possible to collect on 65th year. So that is the one. So and the other things also the components preparation. Another one is the apheresis donor is there. What is apheresis means? It is a machine will be there. It will collect individual components like platelets, plasma and packed cell. That is called apheresis donor. Their age is 18 to 60 years. Now moving on to the next point. First of all, the donor will be fit for donation. So they will see that their blood pressure, normal blood pressure, that is 100 to 140 systolic pressure and 60 to 90 diastolic pressure without medication. So anybody is taking any medicines, then we will not entertain them because they are not eligible. Okay, next. Blood pressure is over. Then pulse is you have to examine. Normal pulse 60 to 100 regular, right? And temperature A for bed. That is no fever should be there. Now you know that it's a very difficult situation in all over the world. Everybody gets COVID and everything. So the first screening point is now we are checking for temperature now. If it is 36.8 below, they are okay. It is above, we will not allow to donate blood. Next slide, please. So everybody can donate. Male person can donate 4 times in a year. That is the gap of 90 days from one donation to another donation. The 4 month for the female persons. Then apheresis method, we can collect platelet and plasma at frequent intervals. Platelet can collect every 15 days. Plasma can collect every 1 month. But if you are collecting whole blood only, you have to fix the date. That is 90 days they have to do. Then only they can donate. Whole blood alone, it is there. Then others, platelet and plasma apheresis and everything, we can donate blood. Then there is no respiratory infection may be there. They must take proper food before donating. Half an hour before they should have morning breakfast, like that they should come. Without donation, they should not go for donation, because if you are getting fainting, what would be the cause? We have to don't understand, no? That you should have food properly before blood donation. No empty person, not eating any food, you should not come to the blood donation. It's a routine. Next slide, please. Then apart from that, we will do hemoglobin examination. It is more than 12.5 grams, they are eligible for blood donation. Okay. As you know, the thalassemia on patient, that they will have blood disorder, they will require more blood. So if they are normal, we can accept them blood donation. Occupation, irrespective of the occupation, they can come and donate blood, except somebody is doing 24-hour night duty and ship, they are going for ship or air crew. These people, 24 hours, they must be free from any work. Then only they come for donation. Then it's very important. We have to scrutinize the questionnaire form. All the infectious disease to be screened. Slide, please. Slide, please.
Yes, share the screen. Devesh?
Okay, all the infectious diseases you must have to think.
Sir.
All the infectious diseases, it includes malaria, typhoid, cholera, and leptospirosis, all fever cases, everything to be screened. If they have skin disease, it's very important. Skin disease, you have to make them not eligible. Okay, skin disease like that. Then pregnancy and abortion. Pregnancy, you are not supposed to take blood. Abortion, minimum 6 months. Breastfeeding, minimum 1 year period. During menstruation for the ladies, during menstruation they are not supposed to donate blood. Then other infectious disease, cold, flu, cough, sore throat, other condition, temporarily you can defer them. Next time they can come to chronic sinusitis, like that. Asthma and asthmatic patients, they should not give blood. They are not eligible to donate blood permanently if they are having asthma. Then next slide.
Major surgery, you have to defer for 12 months. Minor surgery for 6 months. They have received any blood transfusion, defer for 12 months. Open heart surgery, bypass surgery, cancer surgery, you have to defer permanently. They are not eligible to donate permanently. Tooth extraction, we can defer for 6 months. Dental surgery and other thing for 6 months. Next slide, please. As I told you, the heart patients, myocardial infarction, cardiac medications, congestive heart disease, and coronary heart disease, angina, rheumatic heart disease, they permanently deferred. Renal disease persons also deferred. Migraine, if the temporary migraine means we can accept. Then convulsion, epilepsy, permanently defer. Schizophrenia, that is mentally ill persons, you have to defer permanently. Next slide. Anxiety, mood disorder persons, they are supposed to be deferred. Endocrine disorders, diabetics, if you are taking regular medicines, say insulin, you have to defer them. Next, thyroid disease also you have to defer them. Okay, next slide. Endocrine disorders, like endocrine disorders, permanently defer. Liver function disease, hepatitis B and hepatitis C defer permanently. Unknown hepatitis, you can wait for the 12 months, then they can donate blood. Spouse and partner, close contact individuals suffering from hepatitis defer for 12 months. Next slide. Liver disorders, liver disease. Accept the donor, the history of jaundice that are attributed to the gallbladder. Gallstones, gallbladder, you can accept them. If it is liver disease, you can defer them. Chronic liver disorder, you will defer them. Then HIV patients, permanently defer. Person symptoms of AIDS also permanently defer. Next slide. Before that, all the injections, vaccinations, anti-rabies vaccination, you have to defer 1 year. Any immunoglobulin transfusion, you can defer to 1 year. Then injection like TT, everything, you can allow them to donate after 15 days. So generally they must be healthy. They're supposed to suffer any disease. So it is important that each donation and the patients will be getting better in future. And each donation, they will be checked thoroughly. Then if they're fit only, they will be allowed to donation. So regular blood donation, what are the benefits of the blood donation? This is very important. Everybody should know. So starting with 18 years, one donors donating continuously. He is every time he will come and check the BP, pulse, hemoglobin, everything regularly. So he will know that his body condition is good. That is the one point, regularly. Then second point is regular blood donation can help them to maintain the blood pressure. Blood pressure is very important, which is contribute in future heart disease and stroke and everything. So in a person's regularly coming to the blood donation site where he examines himself for blood pressure. So periodic blood donation, which is very important that the person's the blood pressure will be maintained regularly so that he will not going to for hypertension or cardiac disease or stroke. It is scientifically proved that those who are donating blood periodically, there are less chances of less chances of hypertension, less chances of heart disease, less chances of stroke. It is scientifically proved. So this is the basis where most of the middle-aged people they voluntarily comes to the blood bank and they will assess themselves whether the blood pressure is normal like that. So very important that every donation the blood pressure will come down so that periodic blood donation in future it helps to prevent heart attack and stroke. This is the point I carry home message I am telling to every student. So periodic blood donation will help in total in future life. Next, coming to the post donation care, each person after blood donation they should not roam around, but they take 1 or 2 hours rest, like taking lot of fluids and fruit juice and water. They should not do. They should avoid strenuous exercise. Going to gym should not be that day. Next day onwards, they can go do anything. Then those persons, air crew, ship crew team should avoid the travel for 24 hours. This is very important. So the voluntary blood donation is very important in the national level. Only 5% of the person is coming forward to donate blood. It's not sufficient for the need of the blood in whole India. In abroad, they are more than 10% of people are coming forward and donating the blood. In our Indian community, there's a less number of people are coming. As the statistics shows, less than 5% only blood donation they are coming. So you all encourage blood donation and come forward to donate blood. Next slide. Thank you. Any queries, please ask me.
Viewers, please do ask. You can unmute yourself and ask, or else you can type it in the chat box. Any queries?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, tell
Yes.
me.
Yes, sir. I have one query, sir. When we we donate the blood, right? So if we donate the blood of one unit, so then our health will recover that blood in how many hours or in how many days?
Sir, blood consists of 2 parts. One liquid part, red cell parts. So liquid parts itself, it will recoup within 1 or 2 hours. Okay. Okay. Then the cell part, it takes on the individual capacity to regenerate. So cells are produced from bone marrow. So it may take individual capacity. It takes 1 week or 10 days or 15 days. So it can't say definitely how many days will take. Some healthy person, it will be recouped 1 week, within 1 week.
Within 1 week.
Mm.
And I have one question that is blood donation is good for all, means I have done some type of exercise or gymming, so if I have do means I have, or also I have a tattoo in my hand, so it is possible to donate the blood, but it is not any hamper my health.
No harm. Tattoo, what is the duration? When did you do tattoo?
1 week. 1 week.
1 week not eligible because you have to wait for 6 months to donate.
6 months.
Mm.
Okay. And I have done also some exercise like gymming, so it is possible for me to donate the blood.
That's what I'm telling you. You can donate blood, provided you are not supposed to do tattooing. No, tattooing you will be multiple prick will be in the skin, no.
Yes.
So we have a screening procedure. They will defer you for 6 months.
6
Deferral
months.
only. This is temporary deferral. Yeah.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Viewers, I would like to request everybody to fill out the feedback form regarding the webinar. So we will have a clear mindset about what the feedback is. Please fill out the feedback form. If you have any doubts, please unmute and ask to our speaker. We'll definitely clarify your queries.
It is okay if the blood donor is have a tattoo.
We can't hear your question, but still we can hear, but we couldn't understand what you're speaking. You're not that much clear.
Sir, it is okay if the blood donor is have a tattoo.
So I think she's asking whether we can. So I think sir had already explained that, Maricel. If you are tattooing before, only after 6 months only we can donate the blood.
Yes.
There is a particular stipulation of time that need to be.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Maricel.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what type of fruits we can take in, sir? That's easy
All
to generate
type of
nutrient.
no,
Fruits.
no, all fruits you can take. Mainly dates is important because suppose if ladies means they will girls then they will take more dates is better, you know. The men most of them will have good hemoglobin levels. It is very important dates, any fruits and vegetables very important. All green
I
vegetables.
have one question basically. Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
tell
sir.
me.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, actually, my regarding my balanced diet, I have one question. Basically, what diet can a gym person can take? Basically, means if he or she done a gymming, means he want to build a body, means a good body. So, what is the diet for good for him or her?
So the
Means
balance diet is there.
yes,
Yeah,
balanced
you
diet.
have to take
Yes, and he also.
proteins you have to take nuts, fish, egg like that. It's very good for body building.
Okay.
So instead, you don't go for this. These people, some gym people, they'll use some products like that. So that will affect the hormone imbalance. Don't do it. You just take naturally. You can take
Okay.
lot of nuts, fish, egg, and like that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Okay, and oats and eggs, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay,
Don't
okay.
get the injection and all hormone injection. That is
Yes,
they
yes.
are misleading some people. If you
Mm-hmm.
do that thing means it will land up some other problem, which may be your sexual problem will be there. So don't
Okay, okay.
avoid taking androgen tablets, androgen injection like that. Naturally, you can build up, no problem. If you take 2-3 eggs daily, also it will help build up your body.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, you do.
Okay, so also I have one question. Hello.
Hmm.
Yes, sir, I want to ask that how to reduce the belly fat. Means what diet is good for reduce belly fat?
Daily fat. What's your weight now?
My weight is currently 78.
What is the height? You
Height
find
is
out the BMI.
yes,
Weight bar,
body mass index.
uh, body mass index. That should be like 25. It is the ideal.
Yes,
If it is
yes.
26 also okay. So if it is beyond going 30, this obese person. So
Okay,
you reduce your weight according to height.
okay,
I
okay,
think
okay.
your height. What is the height? Your height?
Height is 6.2, 6.2.
Okay, you can very well be that weight is normal only.
Okay, okay,
Okay, you
okay.
can continue. Need not reduce your weight. This you can standardize it the same weight. That's good.
But my belly fat is means my belly fat and fat is too much. What can
Hmm.
I do?
No.
My belly.
What do you think? Your height is 6.2, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Then your weight is, what is your weight?
My weight is 78.
It's okay. It's good. Don't reduce your weight. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
If it is above 90 or 80 or 100 kg, you have to put. Everything is important. Fat also important to protect you. So carbohydrate for energy, protein for bodybuilding, fat also very important factor. So don't think that it's not necessary. So everything is essential.
So
As a
how many eggs?
balance.
So how many eggs is necessary after doing exercise or after doing gym?
It's not that 3 times you are going to take a food day. In between, you can have fruits or juice like that. If you want, you take 2 eggs per day. Okay. You have to take about 1.5, that is some calories you have to take, some proteins you have to take like that. So if you are taking excessive amount only, you're going for fat. But your weight, if you are 6.2 feet height, with 78 is normal only. Okay. So need not afraid to take some oil also. Not good.
Okay. Means
Oil is protective.
oil.
Huh?
Oil.
Okay. Any more questions, please?
Sir, such an interesting meeting and very valuable meeting, sir. Thank you for your presence, sir. I would like to conclude the meeting by saying the vote of thanks to our speaker. It's my immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks in this occasion. Here, with the blessings of late Colonel Dr. JPR, the founder of JPR Educational Trust, we have completed the webinar successfully, and I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. M. Regina JPR, the Chairman and Managing Director of JPR Engineering College, and Dr. V. Natarajan, the Principal of JPR Engineering College, Chennai, and for supporting this initiative. I also wish to express my gratitude to Commander G. Sivasankar, Executive Officer of 4th TN Naval Technical Unit NCC, for providing the encouragement on conducting this webinar. I would like to thank our guest speaker, Dr. P. Ravindran, for sharing his valuable thoughts and lending us more awareness on blood donation. I also wish to convey my sincere thanks to all the officers, PA staffs, ANOs, NCC cadets, professors, and all the students for making this event more successful by gracing the presence. I request everyone to fill out the feedback form given in the comment section before leaving the meeting. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
Very interesting session, sir.